Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now, this is a general reading for whatever sign is in the title because it's a bulk introduction. There will be a timestamp down below in the description so that once you've seen the introduction once, you can fast forward ahead of it. And the reason I say that is because you want to watch more than one. This is for the full moon. So you want to watch your sun sign, naturally, the I am. You want to watch the rising sign, the I am becoming. But obviously, it's the full moon. You maybe want to watch your moon sign. There may be other areas of your chart you want to look at anyway. So, it's a general reading for the sign in the title down there. Now, this is the full moon in Pisces at 10 degrees Pisces. Now, a full moon is all about opposition. Moon opposed sun. So what I like to look at in these gods at play readings are what gods are supporting you and lifting you up, and what gods or what god forms the archons take as they are trying to suppress you and keep you limited and in fear and in need and in want and incomplete and all of that, all of the most anti-new age and probably pro-consumerism stuff that you can think of. Now, these are God cards. By their very nature, these readings are dramatic. It is symbolic. And so much fun, but it is symbolic. What I would like to look at beforehand is the actual full moon itself. I mean, it's in Pisces. It's the big spiritual full moon, which interestingly, Neptune at 20 degrees Pisces, so 10 degrees away, so not really even a full conjunction. However, 20 degrees Pisces for Neptune is the natal Neptune of A8 of the Order of the Golden Dawn. So this is a great full moon for all the other symbolisms aside, and they echo this as well. This is a great full moon for spiritual development. I mean, this is a great season for spiritual development, but especially with this full moon, magical exploration. Magical exercises to get to know further layers of yourself. Now, I could wax lyrical about the astrology of it, but chances are I could get things wrong because I'm still learning my way around astrology and will be for another 5 or 6 years yet. And down in the description, there is a link to the Facebook page for this group where I have already posted oodles of relevant videos from the YouTube astrologers about this full moon, and I will keep posting them as I find them once I've watched them myself and absorbed them all. So yeah, come and join the Facebook page. It's well worth it. Obviously, being a YouTuber, I'd like you to like, share, subscribe and comment. But I want to look at the symbols of the moon. The other thing is, with this moon, it's, now if I remember this correctly, I think it's Uranus. Uranus is trying something. I'll be able to tell you. Uranus is trying something and sextile something else. Let's just bring that information up. Bear with me. Because this is, it is sextile the moon. Oh, of course it is. 10 degrees Taurus, and trine the sun. So there's a beautiful triangle of energy there between the two luminaries and Uranus. This is a time, people call this time in history the Great Awakening. I'm not entirely sold on that idea, to be quite honest. However, certainly this full moon offers a great revealing in your personal lives, in your love life, in the workplace, in the political landscape, in your spiritual self. And certainly that is why I mentioned about AU8, 20 degrees Pisces of Neptune. You can invite that revealing in, if that is what you wish to do. Now, make your own mind up on that one. Now, the degree reading from Inside Degrees, so Chandra symbols I think they're called, I'm taking Pisces 11 because 10 degrees, let me see, the full moon is at 10 degrees 11 minutes I think, so basically it's in the 11th degree. So Pisces 11, a high crumbling wall. It is part of a ruin and covered with ivy. Power is stored in the earth at primal quickening points. Often in these places, humanity erects monuments to its own folly. Eventually these things merge into the landscape and everything comments upon everything else, being held between the earth's wise presence and humanity's dim apprehension of what is really involved here. One side of the feeling, nature is so intuitive and psychically astute that you are harbouring advanced gifts that can serve the earth evolution in staggering ways. On that note, a couple of astrologers have been talking about us accessing our superpowers, however you want to define that. The peace dealer being one of them, but in the more restrained side, Ksenia Moore said much the same in her recent full moon thing, again posted on my Facebook page. Right. Another side of the feeling nature is contorted with reactions, judgments and condemnations of the collective trends of humanity and of the weakness of the human flesh. One more interjection, look at the news. These objections and rejections of the human scene rebound upon the self and poison the psychic faculties. It is only when you heal and forgive and renounce the minor key irritable voice, inside and out, that the flood tide of burgeoning awareness of what is arising in this earth with all its ripples can wipe away the false structures and foster the new birth, the tuned in and blessings focused outlook and in luck. Now the Omega symbol of this is 3 undines guarding a golden treasure at the bottom of a river. That river is the river of change. The undines are the water nymphs, or well, water spirits. Golden treasure to be unearthed in the flow of change. But going back to that Chandra symbol, it reminds me of a thing in the Course of Miracles. With all of the division and what either side of the fence you fall on, with everything that's going on in America, in Mauritius, in Poland, in so many places across the world. Whatever side of the fence that you fall on, when you are tempted to judge and condemn the others, it's A Course of Miracles would say it's okay. Because everybody is playing the lesson, everybody is playing the role that they agreed to play before coming here. Everybody is learning the lessons that they, well, hopefully, or is being confronted with the lessons, let's put it that way, that they agreed to before they came here. So if you despair at the evil Trump voters or the lunatic libtards, whichever, then let that go. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing what's right for them. And it's only with that acceptance can the true revelation bubble up to the surface, I suppose. Can that golden treasure rise out of the river. So I think I've waffled enough hippie hoo-ha so far. So let me bring up the cards. Just before I bring the cards up, there's one thing that I neglected to mention, is that this whole full moon is occurring with the backdrop of Mars square Saturn. And that shows that wanting to drive forward energy, but having our limitations being pointed out to us. Now, a few minutes have passed since I filmed the last bit, and I've just spent a lot of time thinking about it. I firmly believe in all the hippie claptrap that I just came out with. But it's not okay to shoot people. It is okay to fight back against those things that you find abhorrent. It is okay to demonstrate. It is... So, whereas I'm saying, oh, achieve this Zen-like state of non-judgmentalism, at no point does that say stop fighting for a better world. It's just, I do believe what I said, but I find it hard to put it into the real world sometimes, because in the current climate it sounds facile. And it's something I've been struggling with the entire time of this channel. Because, as I have mentioned, I'm a political animal. I keep abreast of politics a lot, and I have opinions, and I can't help but have opinions. And under that Course of Miracles philosophy, me having opinions is okay, and other people having opinions is okay. But I have to draw the line at shooting people. But I think, I only hope that this Mars square Saturn works to the betterment of society, where that driving forward force on the side that I would find morally questionable is restrained, held back, thwarted, forced to reconsider, which is all what this Mars square Saturn, Mars retrograde square Saturn, then Mars square Saturn again, is supposed to be about. As I say, the astrologers can talk about it far better than me. Go and have a look on my Facebook page for the channel to see their videos. And don't forget, there is also an inbox where you can contact me directly if you are looking for a personal reading. And this time I really, really will bring the cards up, I promise. Okay then, Scorpio, and welcome Scorpio Rising and Scorpio Moon if you've just joined us after the timestamp. And if you are indeed Scorpio Rising, this full moon is occurring in your 5th house, the house where you have fun and romance and create the things that you are proud of. That doesn't necessarily mean that the full moon is going to be affecting your love life, however. It can be playing off other aspects within your chart. So now I've got that cleared out the way. At first glance, with the cards arrayed for you, Scorpio, I would be tempted to turn round and pronounce you a member of the Rebel Alliance. Yes, my geek is showing again, but this is a reading for someone working for the Rebel Alliance in Star Wars. It really is. What brings me to this opinion to start off with is first... in the second column, we have the God force that is trying to suppress you, being Iris with harmony, opposed by Dionysus with freedom. I feel like I should do a hand wave at the same time. So, this is not a time to go along to get along, so to speak. That's what that's hinting. But the rest, Artemis with individuation, opposing Andromache, once leader of the Amazons, with strength. Now with Andromache, I am immediately thought of martial power because of the Amazons, which makes me think of the power in units. And there's a military vibe with both her and Mithras here on the top. Whereas Artemis individuation going, no, I don't care what the unit is doing. I'm not part of the unit. I am part of my own person. I will go my own way. I will keep my own counsel and have my own secrets. Thank you very much, is what Nematona here is saying. But also, my geek is going to show again, because Artemis is also the name of a replacement Wonder Woman for a while, who was, let's put it, a lot more savage and a lot more individualistic, and naturally rebellious against anything and everything. So again, there's that sense of rebellion here. And with Anubis, with protection, showing that there is an element of protection for you, unless you are indeed granting that element of protection to somebody. But Anubis is a god of the dead. Anubis is is part of the pathway to a new state of being. Is it Anubis takes your heart for it to be weighed by whoever, and if the heart is heavy, you get fed to Sobek. There's some deeper mysteries going on, and if you think about the Dionysian cult, although you can think of Dionysus as the god of the vine, which indeed he was, and basically class him as the god of more beer, then there's also, he was a god of very esoteric mysteries that led to a transformation and a rebirth for the practitioner. So there's being guided onto a form of rebirth where you'll be going on your own path with your own secrets. But the fact is that you need to go through the more challenging path to come to a new day. Now, the top row. There is this urge to be part of a unit. There is this urge to be part of a movement. And with Iris appearing here twice, if you think about who Iris was, she was kidnapped basically to go to Olympus to become a cupbearer, because Iris is the same name for Hebe, if I remember correctly. And if I'm not remembering correctly, then it's relevant for this reading, because that's what I'm remembering for this reading. So there's it's almost like there is inspiration, there is a messages that is offered to you that makes you go, oh, yes, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of whatever it is, and I will sacrifice whatever I need to be part of this. That way is a mistake. Basically, go with your Rebel Alliance persona, and it doesn't matter how this is framed within your life. You know, I'm not necessarily talking about any of the political movements that are going on at the moment, but you are being called to individual action, individual study, individual challenges, and you are being called to, excuse the pun, play your cards close to your chest. Not to be part of some great movement where you end up being subordinate to somebody else. Because Iris here is seen as her in her role as goddess of the rainbow, but there ain't a pot of gold at the bottom of Iris's rainbow. That's Ireland, not Greece. So yes, there will be a tremendous amount of push to join in. Right, it's going to seem logical and the legal choice, but the message, so the message is fear-based. It's causing anxiety, and that's another reason why you are encouraged to sign up, whatever sign up is. But I think you'll find that you would be more lonely in this group than you would be surging ahead on your own path. That's what that Nine of Pentacles there is telling me. Right, what we got? One, and this one. Oh, that's nice. The Four of Wands at the end. That's really nice, even if it is a harpy that's on a tree branch. Right, so you're being advised here to whatever your end goal or end dream is, maybe keep it to yourself at the moment, because looking at this top row, it certainly doesn't look like the environment is open to listening to whatever your end goal is. It's almost like there's an element of, if you was to turn around and say, well, I want to do this, and you would get pummeled on and be told, don't be so stupid, you've got to come along with us. No, you don't have to go along with them, but you also don't have to tell them what it is that you're up to. You can just go and do it and not worry about being the big communicator during this period. This is weird advice, isn't it? But this is what I'm getting. You don't have to worry about being the big communicator. You don't need to tell people what you are doing, and you don't even necessarily need to tell them that you're not going along with them. All you need to do is not go along with them. Do not turn up. Do not join whatever it is, because there's work that you need to do to bring balance to your personal situation, your personal environment, and it's work that will be protected, what opens up a whole new doorway for you in your own, whether it's advancement or whether it's career or whether it's just emotional happiness. The other thing I'm really drawn to this Mithras, because this is the second time that he's appeared. He appeared in the same position for Libra, and it just, the cause that you are encouraged to sign up for, and I'm saying this is on a personal level, okay? So I'm not saying that this is a mass movement. I'm saying this could be like 3 or 4 of you, you know, your own social circle or what have you. But it's like there is a cause that you are called up to serve for, to sacrifice for, that seems so much the right thing to do, but somewhere along the line it's false. Even if the word by word text makes you go, yes, I agree with all of that, but there's somebody standing to gain something, or somebody's agenda is at work here. And I'll tell you why I thought that. Mithras is not the one of the gods that I'm tremendously familiar with, so I looked him up in the book and looked at the symbolisms around him. Now, basically, I don't know whether he came from Persia, India, or the ancient Roman Empire, but he is a deity of action, honour, and sacrifice, and his mysteries were passed carefully from initiate to initiate. Now, bear in mind, as I'm reading this out, this entire top row is a lie. You know, this is the archons masquerading as gods. This is not necessarily the god forces themselves. It could be the god forces acting against you, but the model of the spread is that it's the archons working against you. What we know from the dark holy caverns left behind is that men, numbering no more than 40 at a time, met in the deepest wombs of the earth and conducted worship and rituals to bring life to the symbols of Mithras. Worshippers killed a sacrificial bull. This is known as the tauroctony. This sacrifice was the symbol of the laying down of life for a higher purpose. However, it's all occurring underground, which immediately makes me think of the mythical, and I don't know what's another word for mythical, but the underground cities. Whether you're talking about the one that's supposed to be underneath Chicago, is it? Or underneath Dulce in New Mexico, or Dulce, however you pronounce it, Dolce, or Agartha and Patala. Because also they were sacrificing the bull. The bull was the symbol of power on the surface. The bull was a symbol of Zeus, for example. And he was, if I remember, he was the bull was symbols of some Babylonian and Sumerian deities that were also like in charge, the Sky Fathers, the ruling hegemony. So this is offering something that is fighting the ruling hegemony. But on this top row, it's a lie. So somehow, by creating this conflict, you are by engaging in this conflict, which will demand a lot of you. You are pursuing somebody's less than perfect agenda, which is uncomfortable to even say in the current political climate. I've already filmed the add-on to my introduction of these videos by this point. But it basically does seem to say, beware of being led down the garden path. You've got more important and more... Okay, I'm going to say profitable, but that's not quite the word that I'm looking for, because it's not attached to the profit motive. Maybe productive, maybe effective, but more profitable actions or productive actions will be by you not going along with the crowd, but concentrating on something that you are very much aware of needs doing, and which may well be contrary to the prevailing thought around you, because everyone else is distracted by this message. Thing is, even if you agree with this message that is being put forward, what you are being called to do is that much more important for the effect that you personally will have on yourself and on your environment. And your environment involves the people around you. The people around you, which for the medium term or short term, you'll be not necessarily telling them all the ins and outs of what you're doing. Because there will be challenges, but you will get stronger through these challenges. And the reason I've gone with all of this is also, we have card number 10 from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, and this is Aladia again. There's been quite a few recurring characters this month, especially since that's like a 72 card deck, with divine grace. And he's carrying rings upon, 2 rings, I might add, as well, upon a cushion here, which makes me feel that well, when I say they're rings, they could be circlets. Circlets is in a talk, but all the way around. You are preparing your half of something, which is going to meet another half. But in the meantime, it's not going to be obvious what it is that your end result is. Even though you know what your end goal is not going to be the end result. Your end goal is going to be half of the end result, and there's another half to come join it. Well, I hope you can make some sense of all this, Scorpio. But yeah, basically, fight the Empire, be a member of the Rebel Alliance, but don't get drawn into skirmishes. You're more sort of in the intelligence services here. I've run out of Star Wars analogies, metaphors, sorry. Right, if this means anything to you, Scorpio, comment down below. Although you are supposed to be keeping your secrets close to your chest. But nevertheless, like, share and subscribe. It would be appreciated. Yeah, good luck. Definitely good luck. What you're doing yourself rather than as part of a group is really important here on your own development and on the environmental effect of it. All right, cheers.